Hi, welcome to Key Skill 3. We're going to use what we learned in Key Skill 1 to draw the graphs of quadratic equations. So this is the question 1 from the previous part. I've written underneath here, so this was the question. I've written underneath here the completed square form. I'm going to scroll back and grab the answers from this one. So the two answers were x is equal to 6 and x is equal to minus 10. I'm going to put those two values on my graph. They will be the y-intercepts because in order to find them we had to make here y equal to 0. So x equals to minus 10 goes here and x equals to 6 goes here. So you can see the shape of the graph would be down here. Now if I let x equal to 0, to get the y-intercept, I would get 2 squared, which would be 4. So now we're going to do the y-intercept. Y equals to 2 squared minus 64. So it's 4 minus 64, which is minus 60. To calculate that one, actually, it would probably be easier to use this form here, the form before completing the square, because we can see if x is equal to 0, these two will disappear and it will just be minus 60. I'm going to rework my axes just so they go up in tens, so that I can include that. So minus 20, minus 40. Minus 60, minus 80, minus 100. So here I'm going to go through minus 60. I'm going to go through the y-axis. So in order to get the y-axis intercept, you need to make x equal to 0. I'm going to get the line of reflection of the quadratic. To do that, I'm going to put a point here. If I put my fingers here, I'm going to put it at x equals to minus 2. So that's going to be the line of reflection. I'm going to put that in. And the point will be x equals to minus 2. So I've changed the sign here. It was plus 2, I changed to minus 2. And at minus 64, which will be, here will be minus 60, so that will be minus 70. So 64 will be roughly here. So I'm going to use the points that I've put in, these two, from solving my completed square, this one from letting y equals to 0, and this one from using my x equals to minus 2, y equals to minus 64. And I'm going to join them up in a smooth, continuous fashion. So that's how you can draw your graph. Let's have a look at the other examples. Okay, we're going to look at another similar example. This was question 2, x squared plus 8x minus 9. We're going to go back and look at the solutions that we got for question 2. The two solutions that we got were x equals to 1 and minus 9. So straight away, I'm going to put those in along my x-axis. So there's 1. And there's minus 9. Okay. Now, to see where my y-intercept would be, I'm going to make x equals to 0 and the original one. So here would be 0 squared, that would disappear, plus 8 times 0, that would also be gone. So it would be at minus 9. So we go along the y-axis down to minus 9. So my curve needs to cross through here. In order to do the line of reflection of my quadratic, I need to look at the completed square. So here I'll paste it in. I'm going to have x equals to minus 4 of my line of reflection, so let's put that one in. So that's going to be the kind of center line. And then the point is going to be minus 4 minus 25. In order to fit these in, I'm going to have a little reshuffle. I'm going to go up in 5s. Now this was on minus 9, so let's move this up. That here, and this would be minus 25. Minus 4, minus 25. That's going to be the minimum point. That's going to be the very, very bottom of my curved shape. So I'm going to take my pen. I'm going to go very smoothly through this, down, 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 to the lowest, to the smallest, or the bottom point, back through my y-intercept and through my second x-intercept. Oh, that one's not very smooth. I'm going to have a second attempt at that. A little bit quicker. There we go. So this point here that you found, this is going to be your minimum point. And that was minus 4, minus 25, and you get it from your completed square. Imagine you put your fingers here and you change the sign on the x, so plus 4 changes to minus 4, and you keep the sign on the y just as it was. So on this one, the minimum point was here, and it was minus 2, minus 64. They ask this question two ways. They can ask you just to draw it and they're looking for these key points, but they can also ask you for the minimum point or the maximum point if the curve is going the other way. And they can also ask you for this line here, this mirror line or line of reflection in the middle. Okay, let's do one more example of one that goes the other way. Let's have a look at example 3, where we have the leading coefficient or the number in front of the x squared bigger than 1. So straight away, I'm going to make this y equals 2. Okay, so this is our equation. The first thing we're going to do is find the y-intercept by making x equals to 0. So this will disappear, and we'll be left with 5. So 5 on the y-intercept. To see my two x-intercepts, I'm going to go back and look at the solutions. So for this question, the two answers that I had were minus 2 plus square root, minus 2 plus the square root of 3 over 2. So that's minus 0.78 roughly. So I would put that very close to 1. So this would be 1. I'm going to put it here. Now the other one was exactly the same, but with a minus here. So I'm going to put 3, that would be 3.22. So this distance between here, and by here and here, is the same, and that's square root of 3 divided by 2, or square root of 1.5. My mirror line, if I use my completed square version here, and I put my fingers on the outside of the bracket, it will be x equals 2 minus 2. So put that in. That will be the middle, so it should be a reflection in this line. The minimum point is going to be on this line, so it will be x equals to minus 2, comma, minus 3. So let's put it in. It will be here. So I need to draw a smooth, continuous curve that's symmetrical across this line. Passes through here, here. That's my minimum point there, the bottom of my curve, and goes through here. My shape is not perfect. You're not going to get the perfect shape on an iPad, but with a pencil, you should be pretty good. So my minimum point will be minus 2, comma, minus 3. Okay. Let's look at the very last example, and that's with minus. Don't forget, all of these notes are in the ebook, in the key skills transcript section. So last example, I skipped one because the third one was just very, very similar to the first and the second. So one with minus, this one's going to be a tiny bit different. So let's get our y-intercept in by making x equals to 0, which will make this one and this one disappear. That will give me 50, so I'm going to rework these ones, so it's going to be 20, 40, 60, 80, 10. So that will be here at 50, between 60 and 40. Okay, now let's look at my answers for this. My two solutions, when I solved it, I got -5 plus 5 square root 3, which will be 5 plus 5 square root 3, 13.6. I'm going to rework this one probably to go up in 5s. 13.6. In between 10 and 15 would be 12.5, so I put it somewhere here. Now to do the other side, which was the same but with minus, I want to be at -3.6. So that will be 2.5 minus 2.5, so about here. Now, let's get the line of reflection, or the line of symmetry. This was my answer here, so I'm going to put my fingers there, and it would be at x equals to 5. And in this case, this is the little thing that's a bit different about this question. Because it was minus here, there's a minus on the x squared, you want a sad face graph. So instead of being the minimum point here at the bottom, it's going to be the maximum point. So it's going to be at 5, 75. So let's find 75. So that would be 70. So 75 would be here. So you imagine here, this is going to be the top of the curve, or the maximum point. So that's going to be 5, 75. And your graph is going to be a sad face graph. It should be symmetrical in this line. That's all you need to know about using completing the square to help you draw the graph. Stick around for key skill 4, where we are going to be looking at real roots, then imaginary roots or no roots, and then equal roots. And then we'll be done, I promise. Okay, I'll see you in the next key skill. Bye for now. The team at Maths with Sophie have made a free ebook to go with this video series. We've broken the topic down into small, manageable sections. Each section has a video tutorial that you're already watching, interactive questions, and model solutions from exam questions. To claim your free ebook, you don't need to download anything, you don't need to sign up for anything. You simply click the link below and it will open in the web browser of your phone, tablet, or computer. If you enjoy using our free ebooks, make sure you check out our website because we have other ebooks on different topics.